Hi there, warm welcome. You're watching Times Now. We're getting you the fastest updates from the Varanasi courtroom on the Gyanvapi hearing, which is currently underway. Even as we speak, there's a massive twist which has happened in the case about a claim by the Hindu side saying that the Shivling has been damaged by the Muslim side. That's a sensational claim being made by Vishnu Jain, who's the counsel of the Hindu side. He says that the Shivling was damaged to make the fountain. Not just that, he says that there is a clear color difference between the fountain mount as well as the Shivling-like structure below it. However, the Muslim side claims that there is no trace of the Shivling and that the Shivling rumors are being planted very deliberately by the Hindu side. Listen into what exactly it is that Vishnu Jain said.
शिवलिंग था वो मुस्लिम पक्ष के कब्जे में था और जो ये फव्वारा कह रहे हैं उसको एक्चुअली डैमेज किया है इन्होंने और फव्वारे में 63 सेंटीमीटर का जो छेद पाया गया है, जो एडवोकेट कमिश्नर साहब ने भी कहा है, वो छेद इन्हीं लोगों ने किया है। उसके ऊपर एक चक्री टाइप की चीज इन्होंने रखी थी, जो आप सीमेंट का 5 खांचा देख रहे हैं, वो इन्हीं लोगों का किया हुआ है और जो चक्री है वो इनके स्टोर रूम में है। कुछ दिन पहले की घटना है, वो उस चक्री को ले जा रहे थे जिसको सीआरपीएफ ने रोक लिया और वो अभी स्टोर रूम में उसकी वीडियोग्राफी फोटोग्राफी हुई है। एक बार जब मेंटेनेबिलिटी डिसाइड हो जाएगी तो ये बात भी हम कोर्ट के सामने रखेंगे।
Well, we'll be getting you the minute-by-minute updates in the Varanasi court hearing as well, which is going to be first listening into the maintainability suit of the Hindu side as per the plea of the Muslim side. But before that, this big revelation may just be a game changer. Let me cross to our legal editor Harish Nair is joining us. There's also Shivani joining us live from Varanasi. Harish, if I can come to you, this is a massive revelation because the claim is very simple that the Muslim side has defiled a Hindu idol, the Shivling in this case, as they are claiming, in order to garb its real religious significance.
Yes, that's right. In fact, the allegation, the revelation by Vishnu Jain has in fact figured in the ongoing hearing before the district judge Meghna. As per the updates being put in by my colleague Akanksha, the Masjid committee has argued that rumors are being spread about the Shivlinga to invoke sentiments of people and inflame passions. So this issue has already come up before the district judge hearing the maintainability of the suit filed by Hindu women who have sought daily worship, daily puja at the western wall of the mosque, where according to them idols of Ma Sringar Gauri, Lord Ganesha, Lord Shiva and Nandi are in fact engraved. Yes, that is the latest update. So now the arguments are still on. The court is now hearing the Anjuman Intizamiya Masjid and arguments are being made. They contend that the petition is violative of the Places of Worship Act, while the Hindu side is countering, saying that this complex, the Kashi Vishwanath and Gyanvapi complex, comes under the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Findings 1958. So, so the latest this is what the latest coming out from the court.
Well, Shivani, if I can come to you, what is very interesting that the Muslim side is now contending that there are rumors being floated about the Shivling, trying to discredit the claims by the Hindu side. But interestingly, Vishnu Jain says that all of this evidence, as he calls it, is videographed and photographed as well. Where is that?
Well, definitely, and we can clearly understand that the way Vishnu Jain has made these charges and has clearly said that there was a damage that was tried to be done with that alleged Shivlinga, and also simultaneously this is the same Muslim side which also claimed in the Supreme Court earlier also that the survey should be stopped. There should be no survey ahead further, and also they were not relying and trusting the survey reports. Those were coming out and were claiming a lot of Hindu idols being found inside that Gyanvapi complex. And now also today, when right before this hearing started, right before an hour of time, it was clearly mentioned by Vishnu Jain that some disturbance has been made. In fact, they have tried to hamper the investigation that is also being going on. And now, interestingly, when all of this has been videographed and photographed, then definitely the Muslim side will need a point to prove that these are the rumors, because now here Vishnu Jain clearly says that we have all the photographs, we have all the videographs, and then the tampering has taken place. So now when Muslim side is claiming it to be a rumor, the court court will definitely take a cognizance and will take a look at this particular photographs and the videographs. Those have been found. But now the interesting part, whether they take it in the open court or the judge himself takes the hands on these particular photographs and the videograph which Vishnu Jain is claiming and the Muslim side is claiming as it to be a rumor.
Right.
Because let's remember, since day one, Muslim side was opposing the survey.
Well, this is all very interesting. Let me take this across to all our panelists who are joining us today on the show. Shivling Nair, the spokesperson of VHP on the show. Ashwini Dubey is joining us, the advocate on record in Supreme Court. Danish Qureshi, a political analyst, is there, as well as Kamruzzaman Chaudhary, a leader with the Congress. In fact, let me go across to Shivling Nair of the VHP first. What do you make of this allegation? And I'm going to call it an allegation by the side, even though they claim that there is videographic evidence of it. I'm still calling it a claim that there was a concerted effort to destroy and defile the Shivling to turn it into a fountain. Why would anyone do that? What would you say to that, Shivling Nair?
First of all, we all listen to Advocate Jain, and what he said, we all listen. And Muslim leadership and Muslims are known to do this kind of discrepancies. First of all, they were denying, they were on a denial mode that this is not a Shivling. They were fountain, this is a fountain, and now they are trying to damage it so that they can prove it otherwise. So all these things has been videographed as per what we heard by what Mr. Jain said. So, and we are absolutely very patient enough, and we believe that the law of the land is supreme. And we are absolutely confident that whatever Mr. Jain has said and what he's going to argue is going to be listened by the honorable judge. And we will wait for the honorable court to come out with its order or its verdict. We are patient. We are absolutely patient, and we respect the honorable courts. And why?
Very interestingly, Danish Qureshi. Let me go across to Danish Qureshi. Interestingly, you had earlier said this is just a fountain. If it was indeed a fountain, why were bids being made to drill it out? And I'm going to believe that bid because the claim is that that circular structure, that cement wheel, is still there inside the storeroom of the Eidgah. Were concerted efforts being made to destroy what was left of the ruins of the alleged mandir?
I think the allegations of drilling cannot make anything as a fountain. The fountain means that the entire system which flow the water in the pond or wherever it has been stored.
It's no longer about the way that it was, the structure was being used. Danish Qureshi, it is about, was there tampering of evidence? Now, you're also aware of what the implications of that would be if evidence was tampered with. Supreme Court says that the area is going to be sacrosanct, it's going to be sealed and no one can tamper with it, and despite that, efforts may have been made to tamper with it.
I think the party has to go to the court. What they are alleging on the media, they has to go in the court, and court will decide that either it has been tampered or not.
Let the court decide. Right now, Danish Qureshi, however, isn't as vociferous as he was perhaps a few days back, saying that it is just a favara. Ashwini Dubey, do you think this is going to be very critical? Because repeatedly pleas are being filed in several of the courts at that there may be attempts being made to damage the Hindu deities and damage their astha.
This is an attempt to interfere in the smooth administration of justice delivery system. If both courts, the top court of this country as well as the trial court, has protected being the Lord Shiva's Shivlinga, then if anyone is trying to erect that, trying to break that with an instrument, that's the contempt of court one. Not only the point of view of court law or the constitution or the law of land, it's also against the spirit of the constitution, because the inclusion, pluralism is fading here. This is how the people who are trying to disturb the evidence which has been gathered by the court commissioners, because court commissioners, when court, there's a law of appointing a court commissioner is that he is having power like a court. The court commissioner has visited there pursuant to the order of the court and digitalized evidence, photographic evidence. Filming has been done and that has been submitted to the court of law. And pursuant to that, the court has protected something. So that is very, 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 very wrong. Point number two, So far as the maintainability issue you said, my friend Danish Qureshi said that the court has to see. But the spirit of constitution, pluralism, secularism, brotherhood also says something. One should understand and respect the feelings of others. Hindus have been worshipping the Lord Shiva from centuries. There are evidences that worship of goddess Shringar, Gauri and other deities were being performed in the precincts of old temple. Abhimukteshwar, this is an admitted, acknowledged fact. There is no need for law to be proved. These are the admitted facts.
Answer that, Danish Qureshi. Why do you not need the courts to tell you to not defile the gods that others are praying to?
I think the one citizen who can't understand the moral duties towards the court or the constitution, what can we do in that? I think the court will be decide the best thing, whatever will come out in this tampering allegation. Second thing is that, remember one thing, already my friend is saying that they are worshipping Vishnu since long. It is right, but remember one thing, there is a democracy in India and we believe in places of worship act once again. And it's stated that since 15th August 1947,
yes,
nature and character cannot be changed.
Also, the Places of Worship Act is currently being challenged. There are at least 2 pleas against it in the Supreme Court itself. That is also being challenged and under the lens right now. However, let me bring in Kamru Zaman, who's also joining us of the Congress Party. How would you like to react to this reaction which is coming in from the Hindu side that purported efforts were made to try and damage and destroy, and not just so that they can hurt the Hindu Asta, but try and garb the Shivling into a fountain to make it like, at least give some kind of a resemblance to a fountain, and this was a premeditated act?
Well, ma'am, one prima facie I can say that it's a hilarious act, the entire allegation itself. Because you see, when the Supreme Court directed the district judge and upheld the order of the lower court that the DAM and the CRPF contingent is responsible for the safety of the fountain.
Absolutely.
Now, after this itself, if you say that the purported, the disputed fountain is itself has been tampered with, this is just a wishful thinking. The main motive that is out here to create a dispute with the
What is the motive?
Yes, please.
What is the motive that you are alluring to, Mr. Chaudhary?
Yeah, I'm coming to that. You create a dispute on the fountain, and the fountain, the court will always rely on evidences. The evidence so far collected has been inconclusive.
The evidence so far collected, the commissioner says that there is a Shivling-like structure there. That is what the evidence is.
No, that is a sub judice matter, ma'am. Let me finish. What was the motive?
I'm quoting the commissioner.
No, commissioner report itself is in cloud. Otherwise, submitting a sealed envelope, they could not have leaked it. That's a different issue altogether. The main food party.
Oh, there you have it. So now you're already building the ground to say that you will not accept the court-appointed commissioner's report.
Put it right. The motive
exactly, madam, you caught him. This is just a ground they are building for not abiding by the court orders.
Swapnil Kothari, do you think already there is an attempt being made that we will first question the survey? If we don't like the order, we will question the court and we will attribute motives to it. Swapnil Kothari, senior lawyers also here on the show. Mr. Kothari.
Yes, Meghna. Well, unfortunately, what is happening is that the application of Order 7, Rule 11 should be purely technically argued, whether the plaintiff discloses a cause of action or not. Of Order 7, Rule 11 application to build in these kind of facts and to argue on tangentially whether there was a Shivling, there was not a Shivling, whether this is something which the Muslim side did or whether something which the Hindu side did, is something which is not within the purview of this application at all. This is trying to build in facts. This is trying to say that even if the survey report says something or the other, at the end of the day, we may or may not accept it. And that clearly shows if the Muslim side is alleging that this is what the Hindu side has done, then that clearly shows that they don't have an argument to buttress their Order 7 Rule 11 application because they knew that it is going to be dismissed. Let me tell you for the benefit of the viewers, Meghna, that Order 7 Rule 11 application is very limited in scope. The court has a very limited power to reject the plaint. Just because one or two amendments say that this is a something which is barred. This is as recent a judgment of the Supreme Court on 14th of March 2022, where the court clearly set aside the order of the Kolkata High Court and it said that, look, just because one or two amendments say that this is barred by the limitation, that does not mean that you have a right to reject the plaint. You have to look at the entirety of the plaint, whether there is a cause of action. And here there is a cause of action. This is all in dispute, and that is exactly what the courts are for, to resolve a dispute. So Order 7, Rule 11 application, to the best of my knowledge and understanding, will be dismissed either today or tomorrow.
Okay.
On this particular ground will lose, and the court will be on merits.
And then, of course, you know, whatever is there, whatever is the truth, depending upon the survey report, depending upon the videography, whether or not the Places of Worship Act will apply or not, that is all a matter of argument. But to say that because this is in violation of Places of Worship Act, that's why the entire plaint of the suit should be rejected, that is a very fallacious argument. That is not going to survive.
Absolutely. That didn't survive in the Supreme Court either, where the Supreme Court categorically says there is no point where it says in the Worship Act that you cannot ascertain the religious character of a place as well. Absolutely. Sriraj Nair, you wanted to come in earlier, but before that, a quick word from Harish Nair. Harish, what are the updates coming in from the Varanasi courtroom?
Has raised concern that the existence of Shivling is only alleged and not yet proven. Rumors are resulting in public disturbance which should not be allowed until existence is proven. So till even now this Shivling controversy is being discussed, and the Hindu side has also countered the argument of the Muslim sides that passions are being inflamed passions, and that there is all this being invoked to invoke sentiments of people. The Hindu side countered, saying that there were such rumors even before the Ayodhya judgment and also during the Ayodhya hearing, but finally when the judgment came out, it was proved that the mosque was constructed at the birthplace of Lord Ram. So a lot of heated exchanges going on there. Muslim side is in fact arguing, and Hindu side, the 5 women devotees are in fact countering each and every argument of the Anjuman Intizamiya Masjid, who are repeatedly urging the court to dismiss the petition filed by the 5 women for daily worship and daily worship of the western wall of the mosque. But they are saying that this petition is barred by the Places of Worship Act 1991 and should not be entertained.
So that's going to be very interesting to watch out for, which way the court decides. What we are getting to here, Swapnil Kothari at least believe that by today or tomorrow we'll probably have an order regarding the maintainability of the suit. Akanksha, I must come to you. You should explain to us again and again. The Hindu side has insisted that there is proof and evidence of it. All of that is there in the courtroom. Has the 7 hours of video footage, the 1,500 photographs which were taken, and allegedly that's where all the video proof and photographic proof lies, been handed over to the 2 sides?
Well, yes, Meghna, if you talk about particular proofs, the 1,500 photographs, 17 videos of 10 hours. We understand, in fact, the survey report is also in the hands of district judge over here in Varanasi, where in fact the first day the judge also took time to read out these petitions, to read out the survey report, to read out the applications. So we understand clearly that all of the proofs are there within the courtroom, where the heating arguments are taking place. In fact, and that is why we see that even now the Muslim side is still claiming that it is the rumors are being spread, it is not a Shivlinga, but it is indeed a fountain. So, you know, some work can be done on that, but of course it is on, we can clearly ask that it is a tempering of the evidences, to which now, in fact, in the courtroom also, Vishnu Jain has also, said the very same thing, that this should not be done. And, even if it is not proven that it is Shivlinga, then too, the tempering of the evidences should not take place. So now we can say that the court, which has already gone through this survey report, which in fact earlier also in the survey report we saw that how they were, all the claims, all the proofs, those were mentioned in that survey report, claims that it was a Hindu temple earlier, and on what grounds now the petitions to be rejected is being asked from the Muslim side. So we understand as of now that all of those proofs are there inside, but the heating argument, the way, you know, the Muslim side is being aggressive in the courtroom right now, that even the court has to...
Well, in fact, do stay on with us. Big breaking news which is coming in. The news break of Times Now is now echoing in the courtrooms as well. That's the big breaking news that is coming in out of the Varanasi courtroom. Over to you, Harish. What's happening? Harish, I was coming to you. If you can tell us, I believe the lawyer for the Hindu side, Vishnu Jain, has also informed the district judge that the alleged Shivling, which was found inside the mosque, has been damaged with a chakri.
Yes, the debate inside the courtroom still continues. There is a so many back and forth allegations and counter allegations are being made, and the issue is still the defilement of the Shivling and an attempt to change its character, despite a firm order from the Supreme Court that the district magistrate should take all steps to protect the Shivling. Now, once again, the issue has been raked up by Vishnu Jain. He says that the lawyer for the Hindu side, Vishnu Jain, to inform the district judge that the alleged Shivling found inside the Gyanvapi Mosque has been damaged with a chakri. So he's expected to inform this to the court once the Anjuman Intizamiya Masjid side concludes the submission. So even now, it is the Masjid side, that is the Anjuman Intizamiya Masjid, which is arguing the matter. Remember, what is being taken up by the court is the maintainability petition. Now the court is scrutinizing each and every word of the petition filed by the 5 petitioner Hindu devotees who are seeking daily worship of the Ma Singar Gauri and Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva and Nandi murals and idols engraved on the western side of the Gyanvapi Mosque. It is at such a time that such a revelation has come that there was an attempt to tamper with the Shivling in fact, according to him, to destroy the evidence. So now Vishnu Jain will shortly inform the district judge that the alleged Shivling found inside the Gyanvapi Mosque has been damaged with a chakri, and Vishnu Jain will inform the court once the Muslim side concludes the submission.
So that's huge. Remember, we must listen in once again to what exactly it is that Vishnu Jain has said. This is a Times Now mega exclusive. Listen in to what exactly Vishnu Jain, who is the counsel for the Hindu side, has made this explosive claim right before it came up in the Varanasi courtroom. And now, as we are reporting that it has also come up in the courtroom, he has informed the judge that he fears that damage has been done to the Shivling. Listen in to what Vishnu Jain has said.
देखिए, जो शिवलिंग था वो मुस्लिम पक्ष के कब्जे में था, और जो ये फव्वारा कह रहे हैं उसको एक्चुअली डैमेज किया है इन्होंने, और फव्वारे में 63 सेंटीमीटर का जो छेद पाया गया, जो एडवोकेट कमिश्नर साहब ने भी कहा है, वो छेद इन्हीं लोगों ने किया है। उसके ऊपर एक चक्री टाइप की चीज इन्होंने रखी थी, जो आप सीमेंट का 5 खांचा देख रहे हैं, वो इन्हीं लोगों का किया हुआ है, और जो चक्री है वो इनके स्टोर रूम में है। कुछ दिन पहले की घटना है, वो उस चक्री को ले जा रहे थे, जिसको सीआरपीएफ ने रोक लिया, और वो अभी स्टोर रूम में उसकी वीडियोग्राफी फोटोग्राफी हुई है। एक बार जब मेंटेनेबिलिटी डिसाइड हो जाएगी तो ये बात भी हम कोर्ट के सामने रखेंगे। अब ये कब डैमेज किया गया ये मैं नहीं बता सकता, क्योंकि पिछले 30-40 सालों से ये सारी चीजें हैं, जब से ये कब्जे में है, ये इन्हीं के कब्जे में रहा है।
So that's very interesting. We just heard that a big explosive claim which is coming in. So let me come across to you, Mr. Sriraj Nair, because nowhere in the claims which have been made, they have been able to ascertain, the Hindu side has not been able to ascertain as to what date this alleged chakri was being taken out of the complex of the Eidgah and when the CRPF had stopped, because Danish Qureshi has also pointed out that it is the job of the CRPF to have protected the area as per none less than of the Supreme Court having ordered it.
Well, as per what Advocate Jain has said, that they have videographic evidence when the Shivling was tampered. So later, and after the maintainability suit is going to be there, then they are going to put it across to the honorable court. The most important factor is, rather than dilly-dallying and always fighting in the court or outside the court with Hindus or with Christians in Kerala, the Muslim leadership should have a large heart and give up the claim of Kashi and Mathura. What has Kashi and what has a mosque? Even in the Ismail Farooqi case, we know that mosque has no relevance or hardly any relevance in Islam. Even in the Arabic countries, Arabic nations, they have shifted mosques, they have raised mosques. So rather than all this beating around the bush and arguing, counter-arguing, fighting across the world, this Muslim leadership, who themselves are converts, they should have a large heart. How long they will keep on fighting? Okay. They have so many issues to address.
Okay, right now we'll wait for the judge to decide on which way or if at all Astha will and needs to be restored. But Shivani, I believe we have more updates coming in from the courtroom. Go ahead, what's happening there?
are going on. In fact, it's been already discussed that the two people escorted out of the courtroom by the police here, and they entered without permission, and that is why this heating arguments is increasing even more. Still, the Muslim side is arguing on the Places of Worship Act 1991, and they are calling it rumor. The way Vishnu Jain is still claiming it to be damaged, that there were people, those who tried to temper the evidences, and they tried to damage that Elish Shivling by a chakri. But yes, of course, as of now, the maintainability is what the Muslim side is still questioning in the courtroom, to which now the judges are hearing both the sides, to which now we are seeing that the Muslim side, those are claiming that it is indeed a fountain and it was not damaged by anybody. If it is the responsibility of the security that has been imposed outside that particular seized area, to which now Vishnu Jain is also claiming that it is the Muslim side, the committee, those who are trying to temper the case, temper the the investigation. Okay. Those are being held there. But of course, yet the heating argument continue on the 1991 Act and the rumor grounds.
Well, of course, that continues as well. But then, Mr. Chaudhary, if I can come to you, why do you think, and many are contending that it was merely a fountain. If it was merely a fountain, why would there be an attempt being made to drill a hole into it and to try and smuggle out a part of it at a time when the entire area was sealed off? That's just a basic logical question I'm asking.
Whatever evidence we have seen of the fountain that has come out in the public domain has been the video that was put out across by the Muslims only. This is the least possible that video that was surfaced so far. We have never seen, outside world has never seen what exactly the fountain looks like, except for that video in which some people were washing the wuzu khana out there.
We are going by the commissioner's report here, not by videos and the claims, but what the commissioner has said.
No, listen, commissioner's report is okay, that's for the court to decide. As a layman, I can say only this thing I can say. Since 1937 to 1991, nobody felt the need to claim it is a mandir. It was already established in 1937 that this is a part of a wuzu khana. It is gone out there. 1991, the law was enacted with an intent that such disputes should not be taken up for disturbing the peace in the society, in the Indian society. Now, suddenly in 2022, the Hindutva gangs have suddenly decided, let us disturb the peace and let us claim something that rightly belongs.
And that's very interesting. Let me bring in Swapnin Kothari. What Mr. Chaudhary claims, and Mr. Swapnin Kothari, you being the legal here, perhaps you can correct him. He says that since 1937, there were absolutely no such claims which was made. Is that true?
To the best of my knowledge, if there was no application made since 1937 till the 1991, then obviously what he is saying is true, that there was no such claim made. But now the point is that if there was no claim made because there was no act, the act came in 1991, and pursuant to that, if there is a situation where the Hindu side is saying that, look, you need to re-examine this, they are possibly challenging not directly what was decided in 1936, but they are going by the act, and the act, there is a bar to conversion under Section 3, but as Supreme Court observed, a couple of days ago when it transferred this matter to the Varanasi court, saying that you decide the 7-11 first and then go on. So it will lie depending upon the survey report. And of course, the court has been magnanimous enough to understand and to tell both the sides as to whether whatever objections you have, you can say, and the report must have been made, must have been disclosed objections, what it is. So basically what the court is going to arrive at, once the conclusion of arguments on Order 7, Rule 11 is going to take place, is that, look, this Order 7, Rule 11 applicable right now, and you should not touch that, then that is something eventually the court will also have to look into that, whether it amounts to disturbance of peace, because otherwise why enact the act at all?
Right.
Then don't enact the act.
It's about the survey. So let me take that to Danish Qureshi. Of course, 1 week's time has been given to both sides to come up with any counters that they may have to the survey. And I believe we don't have Mr. Danish Qureshi, so I'm going to be putting that question across to Mr. Chaudhary. After 1 week's time, both sides are going to get their due time as well as diligence to submit their objections, if any, to the survey. If the court accepts the survey, Mr. Chaudhary, I'll ask you a simple question. If the court accepts the survey, will the survey be accepted by the Muslim side?
Listen, you must have to first educate on the basis of the 1991 Act, whether this is applicable.
I asked you a simple question. I really appreciate a straight answer to it.
You must have that much courtesy to give me 30 seconds to put up.
I'll give you more than that. I'll give you more than that to answer the question I asked
now
you.
the point is that you must go into the subjectively into the intent of the law, not the wordings of the law, man. First point. Second point, whether the survey report, the objections will be put up across by the Muslim side or by the Hindu side is a different matter altogether. Because I know what are the objections that are going to come in. Their ultimate motive is to dig up the fountain area, dig up the wudu area, and claim that, look, we have found remnants of an old temple.
When you say they, you mean the courts?